Hey folks, good morning. Almost from Dhaka, Bangladesh. I am back with my previous angle because this is easier for me. So time is almost 12 midnight here, and I'll be doing a fragrance review on House of Calvin Klein from the Eternity line. And this is a new fragrance in my collection, but not really brand new release. I didn't know this was released back in the days. This is called Eternity for Men Cologne. Okay. As you can see, I have brought out all my arsenal of Eternity. Apart from these, I had Eternity Aqua, I had Eternity Think Intense, and then I had a couple of other summer flankers. So four are missing from here, but some of them. The oldest one is this one, the CK Eternity. I have few sprays left. That is my oldest bottle. So this is sort of like a flanker to that, and I do have some of the other summer flankers, some darker ones. So we'll talk about it as you go. It's a very known line. Okay, Calvin Klein house is a very popular house, and Eternity is their one of their money maker, like CK1 Summer, CK1 Shock. Many of the lines they have, then Defy new line. So CK basically produce a lot of fragrances and budget friendly. Eternities usually used to be like $25-$35 back in the days, but due to inflation, these fragrances have become $40-$45. So these ones you expect to pay somewhere between 40 to 45 bucks for 100 ml standard. These are I think standard 100 ml only, but original Eternity came in like a different bottle size, 50, 100, maybe 150, 200, like that. Okay, so I'm sorry, a little bit overate during the iftar time, and then I'm feeling a little bit uncomfortable, so have to have my coffee, but after this perhaps, and then a little bit of a rest. So let's go. This is the box. It looks pretty simple. If you buy any of these Calvin Kleins, you're not going to get like very expensive looking packaging. It says Calvin Klein, simple. It says Cologne 100 ml, and the bottle follows like the rest of them. Really like the juice color. This one reminded me of the other one I had, like I bought during the winter. Almost same juice color, a little bit more turquoise, and this is a bit more greenish, light blue, marine like. So that one called Summer Days Eternity. That is one of my favorite summer fragrances, very powerful. This one has the same exact bottle, not very heavy base, thin glass, atomizers are built in. These are some of the ugliest atomizers I've ever seen. I always say that since the beginning. Let me spray this. I'm wearing actually CK Reveal right now for Scent of the Night. There are other fragrances like CK Defy, CK Obsession, many of the other ones, CK Craze. So you get a lot of lines. So this basically is a summer list. Let this liquid settle down, and let me tell you the notes real quick. This fragrance has from Fragrantica, you get aldehydes, juniper berries, ginger, bourbon, geranium, mastic, cardamom, I think ambroxan. I don't know what is Lorenox. I don't know. I have no clue. And moss. So that when you see moss, you better know one thing. Like this is not going to be that Kuros, old days oak moss, or you get from Pakuraban or Pakuraban Purom or some of these. No, these are going to be modern. A little bit of green at the base, but upstairs, like the up top, not upstairs, up top, they're going to give you a lot of citruses, brightness. They added this ginger note, which is interesting. Ginger, I think this kind of line, these fragrances, sorry, they use usually synthetic notes. Okay, so this fragrance opens up synthetic. Is it a bad thing? Not necessarily. It's a pretty nice fragrance, very nice opening. This is not for people who are niche lovers. This is for people who like simple fragrances in their arsenal, like the affordable fragrance, daily usage. If you cannot afford like a Prada L'Homme, Dior Sauvage, Bleu de Chanel, next year you go is somewhere like Bulgari or maybe Jean Paul. But if you cannot afford that, then go for Salvatore. If you cannot afford that also, then go for Calvin Klein, Davidoff. So these are your first tier or base tier, third tier fragrances. So what are the good things? What are the bad things? Okay, let me have a break. I really should have had that tea. This whenever I smell perfume, it disturbs. So yes, good things. Let's talk about the good things. First thing, it smells really, really good. I per se do not get all those notes they mentioned. I get when it opens up, I get this very beautiful summery vibe, and it has a little bit of a, I don't know, mild peppery, like mild spice. I think that is the ginger they're saying, but there's a little bit of a pimento, like a spicy, something like cardamom, those tones, but not really like chili. Okay, so that spice, I guess, is the ginger, and ginger was used better in fragrance like YSL L'Homme, like Lanvin L'Homme's older brother. So it reminds me a little bit of that, but the L'Homme one was done much higher quality. That one had more sweeter notes, like uh, citruses, and then a little bit like Hugo Boss bottle. Like that was like much higher grade fragrance. This one with the synthetic opening, you get like a not really gin and tonic, but they do mention juniper berries. So it has a juniper kick, like Silver Shadow Altitude by uh, Davidoff. It reminds me of that. So it has that CK vibe. Okay. So this is the modern era of CK. I have seen not many reviews on this fragrance, sadly. Like this particular perfume, sorry, cologne version, people I think is not they're not very interested. The reason being that this is a Calvin Klein fragrance. You know, many people are prejudiced against this house. They rather buy some Middle Eastern houses or Amouage or Creed, but they will not buy a CK fragrance. That's why I guess. So I would like to give props to Carlos. I think he did like a great review on this one. Let me see. Yeah, if you guys know, I'm sorry, I forgot his channel's name. I know him because he's my friend. He's in my list. He posts regularly in a group. His name is his channel is called TLTG Reviews. Okay, and this dude's full name is Ross Carlos. So he's one of the most happening reviewers, and he covers a lot of fragrances. He usually covers like every day in day out. He goes to different shopping malls. He does lives, a lot of stuff he does. I am not quite active like him, but he is one of the busiest and most popular reviewers, and he's straightforward and he works out. So he covered this, and I watched his full review with full attention. And he described it. If you want to see a perfect review of this, he described it fine. He said, "Eternity original one was his father's signature scent, and this is more for a son." Okay. Among these, my favorite Eternity. Let me tell you before this, there are some favorites of mine. Like I miss my Eternity Aqua. I used to have that 200 ml, sold it off. Similar to Polo Blue, I'll get it back. Then Siki Eternity now. Sorry, this thing almost finished. It had this coconutty vibe, the flame one. So these I bought. Like I used to have the intense. This is the night version. So these are good, but mostly the EDP was very good. The perfume was not bad. I have a sample of it, but this one, the Summer Days, is my most like liked summer fragrance. And next to that, this is pretty nice release for me. Like this is newer, and even the Eternity, like for Men Air, these are good. So if you have one of these, you perhaps don't need this. Okay, I'll tell you frankly, if you have a lot of like Polo Blue, Versace, Puro, Nautica Voyage, this is going to be redundant in your collection, but it offers something different. Okay, and the dry down, I think Carlos said, like Ross said, you get like also Eternity original. So far, the original Eternity, I did not find so much in this to my nose because my nose is not 100%, but this is pretty different than the original. Even like the EDP is pretty different. It's more sweet, more barbershop, modern version of the original Eternity. So this one for me, it connects to that original, maybe with that green tinge somewhere at the dry down, but it's not oak moss. It's mostly like vetiver grassy. So it's a sweet, fresh, mild, spicy, herbal, like a perfect summer fragrance. Longevity is very good. Like for a freshie, I got in our like warm weather like 4 hours. Okay, some of you may be saying like, hey, in USA you get 7 to 8. Your weathers are much better. Okay, so if you really want like a summer fragrance, which is within budget, still $40, I would say is within budget. You can look at this. But if you already have like say something Summer Days, Eternity Aqua or Air, perhaps this will be like not something you really need unless you're a collector. This is a line for collectors. Some people collect the whole line, like different summer version, limited edition, So Eternity for Men Cologne is a great fragrance for me. Even though it is synthetic, I don't mind. I'm used to the syntheticness of CK. But CK offers good value, like 100 ml. Nowadays, hardly you get 100 ml for under $100. Okay, that's one thing. And you look at the brands. Hugo Boss they have gone up in prices. Versace gone up in prices. Who's giving you cheap? Nobody. So CK in that way, they're still providing for the masses. I kudos to them. I say kudos to them. Okay. Overall, my honest initial impression on this is it's 8.5 out of 10. I would say the Summer Days is something I really love. I keep going back to this one because this is my current favorite. Next to this, if I really like something, is this one, the Cologne. It's a lighter, but not very light. It does have good presence. If you spray heavy on the shirt, you're gonna get that 5 to 6 hours of longevity with 1.5 hour of projection. Okay, so daily, day in day out, summer fragrance, daily drive. If you're going to seeing the mechanic, do some shopping done, get some shopping done, taking the kids out, good fragrance, weekend fragrance, great fragrance. So modern fragrance, fresh fragrance, and a really nice, good for youth. I mean, original Eternity and Eternity EDP, even the Flame. I feel a little bit for the mature crowd, but you should take a look at this if you are a teenager, or like a guy in the younger days, and you just enjoy a fragrance game and don't care about the niche design and all that. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Let's move on to one more video. Man, I have to finish the video because my voice is really like going bad. Okay, thank you so much for watching and your patience. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.